Oops. Okay, it's going. All right, welcome to your practice. I realized because I watched a little bit of a previous recording that I don't have to yell that much. That I can sit all the way back here and give me a thumbs up if you can hear my voice. Yeah, I can talk at a normal volume. I've always thought I've had to like yell a little bit or at least project. And so I think hopefully I'll be a little more enjoyable to hear. I can talk at a more talking pace or volume. So that was a nice discovery for myself. I was always too embarrassed to watch my own recordings. Um, so take a comfortable seat, and if I am talking too softly, let me know. I can easily re-project my voice again. Take comfortable seats and take your hand to your low back. Put the other hand on your belly, even actually, and in the low back. So this is above your hips but below your ribs. That part of your spine, it goes into the body, but the muscle on the side should feel fairly flat. But the difference would be when we slump. Try the opposite. Try slumping, like collapse your chest, sink back. Usually when your hamstrings are very tight, and you actually feel that the low back kind of rounds back. It can be very difficult on your core muscles and your back muscles. So let's do the opposite. Place your hands on your knees. Bring your slow spine, your low back, into the body. As you do that, lift up. So you've got a nice, appropriate amount of space here. Let's just let our head fall to the side as you keep that spaciousness and strength in your low back. Bring your head to the other side. Come back up to neutral. Take a deep breath in. Pull your hands, push your hands down on your thighs and pull your elbows and your shoulders back, opening across the chest, opening the ribs forward and up. So you're bringing a strength of muscle and tone through your low and mid back. Good. Now watch carefully. I don't know if you can see in the video, but what you're going to try and do is broaden your shoulders and then squeeze your shoulders. And we're going to do that 3 times. You're going to broaden your shoulders and then squeeze your shoulders. Broaden, squeeze. Broaden, squeeze. We'll play with this idea today that the shoulders can go in and apart, and the low back can come in and slump back, and how those two things work together to form back strength. Lift your arms up into the sky. Try to keep your elbows straight. Actually, use the straightening of your elbows to help create length and release in your shoulder joints. So think about extending the elbow. And now, if you rotate your hands so the thumbs turn back, you should be able to get the shoulder blades to broaden and then squeeze them together. Broaden, squeeze them together. Broaden, squeeze them together. Good. Stretch up, extend out through that toning that you just did. Really reach up tall, take a deep breath. And relax your hands back down. Take the left wrist, put it over the right knee, push down on that and bring your chest up and into the twist. And let's reverse it. Keeping space in the body. Very good. Let's just take a couple deep breaths now in a seated posture. Now we've opened our spine. Focus on bringing that low back in and up. Now breathe long through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Focus on keeping a long posture and feeling the lungs and the torso pulse. Inhale. Exhale. Feeling the feeling of the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to lay on our backs briefly for a little bit of a bridge pose opener. Bridge pose opener. I'm going to try not to yell because I think you can hear me even when I lay down. Oddly enough, surprise to myself. Laying on our backs, a little bridge pose opener. We're going to do a couple little minute exercises here, so bear with me. When your hips are on the ground, and your shoulders are on the ground, push. Push with your elbows and your shoulders. Push them down to the floor. And notice how it lifts your spine. Your hips will be down, your head will be down, but your spine kind of lifts off the ground. That's the low back rising. That's the muscle on your back toning. Push with your shoulders and elbows. Take a deep breath here. Make sure you're pushing down with your shoulders as much as you're pushing down with your elbows. Keep that sensation and now lift your hips up. Put your hand where we started our class in your low back. See if there's still a little bit of an archway there. And now pull your hips down so you make the archway a little bit bigger. Pulling the hips down about halfway. And then lower down. So we're trying to build this mobile strength in our back bodies. Extend your elbows so your palms or the back of your hands are pushing into the floor. The elbows are pushing into the floor. And the shoulders are pushing into the floor. And once again, lift the hips. If you can, you kind of pull, almost like a slingshot. Your hips were the slingshot pouch. Pull the hips down a little bit without touching the floor. So you've created a bigger arch in the low back here. And then repress into bridge. Exhale, lower down. Breathe, relax. Try to broaden across the chest and collarbones. And fill up your torso. Good. Float your legs in the air just a little bit. Breathe. Float your arms out by your hips just a little bit. Breathe. And if you can, you're going to rock up without touching your hands or feet to the floor. You're going to rock up into boat pose. So you're balancing on your sit bones. See if you can do it. If not, you just kind of come up and join us in boat pose. And breathe here. Good. Breathe. Excellent. Cross your ankles. You're going to roll forward, hands and knees, tabletop. Take a moment in tabletop, tuck your toes, and bring your low back into your body, into your ribs. So you get a nice hammock-like sensation in your spine, in your torso. This will open the chest, open the throat, breathe here. And try to broaden your shoulder blades. And then squeeze your shoulder blades close together. Broaden your shoulder blades. And squeeze your shoulder blades close together. The back should stay strong the whole time. Broaden your shoulder blades. And squeeze your shoulder blades. Can you see which shoulder has a little more mobility? I certainly can in my body. Broaden. Squeeze. Take a deep breath. And go ahead and push back to downward facing dog. So Bill, you can stay at the wall for this next couple. We're gonna do some down dog and some sort of cobra. You can do the whole thing as like a flow on the wall. Okay, so we're gonna go nice and slow between the postures. Try to keep the low back in. So you're not going as deep into your down dog. I'd rather you actually keep your knees bent and your heels a little lifted so that your low back looks like a hammock rather than a dome. You can see in the camera if you're uncertain what I mean. Okay, you're gonna come forward. You can drop your knees to the floor and push down with your hand as you lift your chest. Don't drop your hips too low. Just let the knees come down. We don't want to over exaggerate our low back. Good, let's push all the way back to that downward dog, the baby downward dog. It's a long stance. You can back your feet up. Yeah, back your feet up, but your knees are bent, the heels are a little up. You push back through your hips. So push back through your hips, let your low back kind of fall into your ribs. The water could run down the spine, a little trough. Inhale, come forward, drop the knees down, bring the hips down, and broaden your shoulders if that's available to you. Move them away from each other, move them away from your ears. Looks good. Yeah, arms a little straighter, Jim, if you can. You're almost trying to work on making them perfectly straight. And let's go back to the downward dog. This time, same thing, melting the low back. And also trying to move your shoulders down your back, meaning away from your ears. I like to think of it as pushing my chest and my forehead towards my thumbs without bending my elbows. Right, so we're opening up our shoulder mobility and building our back strength at the same time. Coming down to our knees, rocking the hips forward some, cobra variation. Think about broadening our shoulder blades, broadening across our chest at the same time. Good, last round. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just trying to put it all together for yourself, whatever you can remember. Maybe adding your favorite little ritual to your downward dog. I'm pedaling at my heels right now. Good, and last time let's come to the cobra. So the knees are gonna be down, the hips will come forward slightly, and we open across the chest and push down with our arms. Good, we're gonna come all the way down to our mats. Billy, you could join us. All the way down to our belly, keeping our shoulders nice and broad, like a shelf. A shelf of strength across our shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Squeeze the back muscles towards each other. And breathe here. Keep the prod. You should have your chest and your head lifted way off the ground if you can. Using your back muscles to hold you up rather than your arms. Looks good. Okay, let's press up and back to a child's pose. Tuck your toes in this child's pose so you get a stretch along the sole of your foot. Push with your hands to send your hips back. And start to walk the hands back. So you can push with your hands so your knees come off the ground in a low squat. And press up to standing pose. You're going to bring your blocks, if you want, to the front of your mat with your body. Take your palms open, so they're like a little bit at an angle, like this. Palms open at a little bit of an angle. And you're going to try to feel that the arm bone, the top, is rotating outward. Not from here, but from the shoulder. It rotates outward. A ball and socket joint. The ball is rotating open in the front and turning in on the back. So let's try that a couple times. You're going to rotate. You're going to feel this rotate in the shoulder. You might notice that the shoulder blades move closer together when you do this. Let's lift the arms straight up into the sky, extend through your elbow, and then bring the hands down in front. Do it a couple times. Bring the hands out in front, and then rotate the shoulder joint like a ball rotating in a socket. The shoulder blades move towards each other. Looks good. Inhale, lift up. Keep that opening as best you can. Keep the shoulder blades moving in and down. Extending your elbows, and let's bring it down in front. Looks great, really technical, but now that you understand the technical technique, you can let it be more fluid and really feel into the benefit of the detail. Arms in front. Rotate where the arm bone meets the shoulder, opening the front, toning the shoulders. Really nice. Inhale, extend your elbows as you lift up tall. Stretching energy from your heart and chest up through your hands, and relax the hands back down. Last round, doing great. Turn the palms to face front. Rotate at the shoulder joint. Try to feel which shoulder's a little bit more restricted. For me, it's the right. The right does not rotate open as well as the left. Extend the elbows, lift up. Stay mindful of the practice. Exhale, bring it down. Flow all the way down. You put the hands on the blocks if you wish. Just lightly touch the blocks and shift your weight. So basically 100% of your weight is over the feet. You could play the drums on those blocks. You're barely using them. Okay. You can play the drums on the blocks. You're barely using them. The weight's on your feet. I've shifted my weight back. My knees are a little bent. Try that. Try bending the knees just a little bit so you feel the stretch in an active hamstring. It's not a passive hamstring. Active hamstring. Cool. Let's breathe here. 2, 3. Lift your chest up a little more, like a flat back pose. 4. Good. Let's step the right leg back. Push through that heel. So you're in a lunge pose, pushing through the heel. A little bit of weight in the hands now as you lift your chest. Stretch your calf. Okay, change legs, please. Step forward and switch. Breathe. Step forward. Put all the weight in your feet so your hands can play the drums on your blocks. Then rise up to standing. It's going to really help support the low back, have all that body weight over your feet before you lift up. Exhale, bring the arms down. You're going to take your left hand, you're going to put it behind your head. You're going to look over at your left elbow and then try to slide your left shoulder blade up into the ceiling. As you slide the left shoulder blade up into the ceiling, pull your left elbow and shoulder back, opening your left ribs and chest. Breathe into that space you're making. Good. Come back to center. You're going to bring your right hand up, place it behind your head. You're going to move the elbow and shoulder back as you look over at that elbow. Lift the shoulder blade, open the ribs on that side, and breathe. You should feel a stretch across the pec. Coming back to center. Excellent work. Turn the palms to face front. And intentionally try to reach your fingers down into the earth. So you feel your shoulder blades move down and your chest kind of bolsters. I know you don't have to walk around in public like this, just for a little while in yoga class. So your skeleton feels spacious in the front. Reach down with your fingers, reach down with your legs. You can push down through your knee joint through your feet And breathe here. It's like you're a very tall, Frankenstein-looking posture here. Very tall posture. Breathe. Allow your shoulders and head to move back a little bit, building on your back strength. Really nice, excellent uprightness, even a little bit of a back bend sensation happening. Now pull your arms back, toning the muscles of the back body. Good. Bend your knees nice and deep. Bring your fingertips to the outer knee. Breathe. And now step your right leg back. Warrior one. Lift the arms up overhead. Push down through the feet. Try to recreate that same feeling you just had in your back in your warrior one. Nice and upright. Long front spine. Good. Bend your elbows. Point the fingers down the spine behind you. Yeah, exactly. You're getting a tricep stretch here. Work the elbows up and back if you can. Sending the shoulder blades down your back. It looks good. Step forward. Slide the hands down the front of your leg. Just get a little release to your spine here. Any amount will do. Make sure the weight is over the center of your feet. And then inhale, rise up. Reaching up high. Relax it down. Same exact sequence on the other side. Turn the palms forward. Reach down through the fingertips. The elbows are extending. You can feel the shoulder blades move down the back, away from the ears. Broaden into your chest as you inhale. You can root down through your legs so you feel long and upright, spacious in your front body. Keep working these actions until your muscles in your back support you. Lean back a little bit with your shoulders and head. It takes no effort. It's just part of your natural opening of the skeleton. Good. Bend the knees. Slide the fingertips down to the outer knee. Stay with the flow. Yet focus and breathe. Stay in your alignment. Step the left leg back. Warrior one. Try to recreate that similar upper body posture in the warrior one stance. Bend your elbows so you send the fingers down the back, like prayer hands down the back of your spine, between your shoulder blades. Yes, exactly. Reach up and step forward to the front of your mat. Give a little gentle bow, release your back. Cut your blocks, turn them on the medium setting, push down through them, and walk back to a plank pose. You can go all the way down to the floor with your hands, or just hold those blocks with your hands and breathe here in plank pose. Utilizing your core, still keeping a strong back. Nice and slow, bend your left knee. Maybe it touches the floor, maybe not, and then come back up. Bend the other knee. Come back up. We're going to do 2 more times each side. Last round. Downward facing dog position. Walk it forward. And shift your weight into your feet 100% before rising up. Inhale all up to the sky. Extend out, get long and tall through your elbows. Lift up on your tippy toe for a moment, lengthening your knee joint. And then exhale, relax it down. Inhale, swing out your left arm, look at it. Look at the palm. Keep raising it up, keep looking at the palm. Open the body to the side a little bit, keep looking at the palm. Good. Close it down. Complete the circle. Inhale, send out the right hand, keep looking at the palm. It goes up. Kind of crescent the body as it goes over. And then to complete the circle. Good. Bend your knees, touch your fingertips to your knees. Broaden your shoulder blades. You can pull now the arms back, toning the upper back, toning the shoulders. And step the right leg back once more. Keeping that upper body portion. Basically doing the same pose, just a little different arms. Breathe here. arms back, really opening up the chest. Good. From here, you're going to reach and you're going to grab your blocks in front. Put them on any setting you want. I'm going with the highest for more space. Keep reaching out with your chest and forehead to build your back strength. And then in one motion, you're going to lift your back leg as high as it'll go. You can keep your front leg nice and bent. You're going to center your weight over the foot, not the hands. Breathe here. Stay with the pose. Keep breathing. No matter how high you lift that back leg, just try to keep your back strong. Don't hunch over. Build the back muscle. Bring the spine into the body. Yeah, looks great. Nice and strong. Okay, we're going to drop that back foot way back. Bend your front knee. And come all the way up. Warrior two pose. Excellent. Situate your right hand in the hip crease, in the right hip crease. And push. Almost like you're pushing your hips with that right hand out through the front knee. Yeah, that's good. You got it. Not too much. Good. Reach the other hand now up like you're sliding it up a glass wall. Look at the back of your hand. Good. Straighten your front leg now and pull your hips back, the complete opposite. Pull your hips back and rest your left hand on your shin. So it's like a little bit of a triangle pose, not a full-fledged triangle pose. It's the triangle pose in the making. Let's reverse it. You're going to push the hip forward as you bend the knee, and you're going to slide your front hand up a wall. Then you're going to pull your hip back as you straighten your front leg and rest the front hand on the shin. Let's do that cycle one more time. Push forward and up. Inhale. Pull back. Reach out. Exhale. Really nice. Good. Bend your both knees. You're going to put your hands on your blocks and step to the front of your yoga mat. Let's see if I can remember what happened on the first side. Shift your weight over your feet. Come all the way up. Exhale. Release your arms down. Bend your knees. Chair pose. We started, I think. Extend your elbows. Kind of open your chest. Building your back strength. Building your back strength. Looks great. Shift the weight. You're going to step your left foot back into the warrior one. Don't move your arms. Upper body stays in this open chest. Strong back. Just breathe. Those muscles cool down from a sitting culture. My one teacher used to say, the muscles can get locked long, meaning they're in their long pattern, but they're working. When we round our back, we sit in a chair, muscles can get locked long because they're stretched, but they're having to tone, which is the opposite. Here we're reversing that. We're building the tone by toning the back muscles. Good. Okay, reach forward, put your hands on the blocks. Try to keep your weight over your foot if you can, and then lift the back leg. I'm going to keep my front knee bent and just use the blocks for balance. And it's a little bit of a habit to put my weight in my hands. So I'm trying to conscientiously shift your hips back so the foot receives the body weight, not the hands so much. Breathe here. That's great. Did you play the drums on the blocks? Keep breathing. When you're tired. Maybe you're not tired, I don't know. Okay, bend the knee, drop that back foot back, warrior two. You're gonna take your left hand, you're gonna put it in the hip crease and gently push the hips forward to the knee. Slide the front hand up an imaginary wall. Okay, we're gonna exhale, pull the hips back, reach the hand out and down to the shin. Baby triangle. Inhale, push the hips forward, bend the front knee, and lift the arm up. Nice and fluid motions. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, push the hips. Exhale, reverse the hips. I think that was a number. We're gonna do one more just because it feels pretty good. I think we'll be okay. Inhale, push the hips. Exhale, reverse. I don't remember what we did last time. We're gonna bend our knees. We're gonna step forward, put your hands on the blocks, and go back to plank pose. I don't know what we did, but we're doing this now. Plank pose, breathe here. Back is strong, the muscles are moving in towards each other and towards the spine. Core is still strong. Slowly lower down, knees to the floor. Keep your toes tucked and sit your hips back. Thanks, Billy. Join us in child's pose. In our child's pose, we're going to keep our chest up. Got my hands on my blocks. That's it. Don't let the hips round so much. Chest open. Breathe. Okay. A little bit challenge pose. You're going to choose the arm direction that works for you. The most challenging is going to have your forearm. Let's just do it this way. Have your fingers point to the front of your mat. And the easiest will be to have your fingers point to the edge of your mat. So you've got a 90 degrees to work with. Anywhere along the way can support you. Okay, so you're gonna put your left elbow down and your left palm down. You can change. Okay, now you're gonna stick your left leg back and turn onto the outer left foot. Okay? And you can keep that right foot flat on the floor. You can stack it on top or have it staggered in front. You can choose. You can have that right hand fingertips down for support, or put the hand on your hip and balance. Breathe. Yeah, really challenging to keep that back in. You want to round it. Good, that's long enough. That's a tough pose. Side plank, forearm plank. Relax, come down to a Sphinx posture. Just release forward. Yeah, it looks good, everybody. You did it. Yeah, when you're in the Sphinx pose, push your elbows down and pull to help bring your shoulder blades towards each other. Bring your heart forward. Breathe here. Excellent. We're going to try the other side. You're going to just roll onto your right. You're going to have that right elbow down under your shoulder, and the hand can be turned in slightly. You can choose to stagger the feet or stack them, and then push and lift your hips up. Breathe. Exhale, lower down, turn back into Sphinx pose. You can rest your head a moment here, let your back kind of counter. I like almost like you're sinking your skull through your shoulders. I don't really like those poses, but we're gonna do one more time on each side. Put your left elbow and forearm down. You're gonna roll onto that left hip. Stacked feet, staggered feet, you choose. And then push down with the elbow to lift the hips. Breathe. Open and tone your shoulders, friends. Tone your shoulders and back. Good. Lower down. Last round of one more side. Resting a moment. Remembering the alignments that we're working with as we shift onto our right side. Push down to lift up. And release the pose down. Very nice. Release the pose down. You can push up first or go all and go back to downward facing dog. We'll be here a second, Bill. You can go to the wall again. Open the hip flexor a little more here. You're going to lift your right leg up into the air. Inhale, just nice and light. Pull it into the body, exhale. And then step the foot flat. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, pull it into the body. And step it flat, downward dog. So we're just alternating these leg squeezes. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right leg in. Back to neutral. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, squeeze the leg in. Back to neutral. Inhale, right. Exhale, squeeze right. Back to neutral. Inhale, left. Exhale, squeeze. Neutral. Inhale, right. Exhale, squeeze. Neutral. Last round. Inhale, left. Exhale, squeeze. Neutral. Walk the feet in, or the hands back. Forward fold pose, getting all the weight in the feet. Take another breath here, making the feet a little wider. Long, deep breaths. Enjoy the breath. Let it fill up the posture. Let it move you deeper into the pose. Each breath. Good. When the weight's over the feet, inhale, rise up. Stretch up tall to the sky. Extend through your elbows. Open the fronts of the hip joints, making space. Reach out your right hand, the left hand on your head, and let the neck fall to your left. Slowly lowering that arm down. Try to move the shoulder blade in a way to release any tension in the neck. Awesome. Inhale, lift up the arms really tall, straighten the elbows. Making space. Start to reach out the left hand as you put the right hand on your head or second side. Head goes to the right as the left arm slowly falls, like you're pressing down with the left palm. I don't know what you're pressing on, but you're pressing in a way to help move the shoulder blade in a way that releases tension in the neck. Inhale all the way back up, both arms up, bring to that side, same thing again. Nice and long, extended elbows, shoulders down. Drop it over, head goes to the left. Right arm floats out like a wing. Inhale, reaching up. Dropping the left arm out. Head goes to the right. Back to center. Standing in mountain pose for a moment. Lungs should be open right now, so breathe long, full breaths. Enjoy a full upright posture for a couple breaths. We're going to slide over to the wall. Have the wall on the right side of your body if you need it. And play with balance and movement. You usually do a balance and hold, but today we're going to do balance and movement. And so your right hand might just use the wall for support. Again, try not to put too much body weight in the hand, but let's keep the body weight over our right foot. And we put our weight over our right foot. Inhale, lift up our left knee. You can use your hands to kind of direct the movement. Exhale, send your hands and foot back, kind of like a warrior three. Inhale, bring that foot, I lost my own balance. Bring that knee forward and up. Exhale, kick the foot out for a second. Any distance will do, any height. Inhale, bring the knee up. Exhale, send the leg back. Trying to control movement using the wall as little as needed, but do use it if it's needed. Inhale, bring the knee forward and up. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, up. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, bring the knee forward. Listen carefully, take the knee out wide. Bring the ankle across and sit into the standing pigeon. Inhale, bring that knee back up and release it down. Nice little flow there, good job. Try the other side. Maybe we'll do it again so you know what to expect. You're going to put the left side of your body next to the wall, if you need the wall. And that hand can kind of slide along the wall to what makes sense to you. Inhale, bring up the right knee. Exhale, send the right knee back. Gotta work on keeping your weight rooting down through the standing leg. Inhale, knee forward and up. Exhale, kick out. Inhale, knee up and send it back. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, knee up, send it back. Inhale, knee up. Forward with the foot. Inhale, knee up. Send it back. Last round, you're going to inhale, bring the knee up. Exhale, open the knee out. Inhale, hook the ankle, and then sit down. Inhale up and release it. Really nice, really nice. We're going to do a similar flow. We're going to go back to our first side. I'm going to add a little bit to it, okay? Take a moment, find your mountain. Before we go into having to balance again, especially when we move in our balancing poses, our toes can over grip and we build tension in our foot. You're going to look down, you're going to lift your toes, and you're going to try to spread your pinky and your big toe away from each other so you can see space between your toes if that's possible. All of them. There should be space between all of them. And if you can keep that space, let the toes come back down to the floor. Okay, so you should feel a stretch through the sole of the foot this way. Now let's see what happens after we do a flow. We're all gonna have raccoon feet. Okay, shift the weight over to the right foot. Inhale, bring up the left. Exhale, send that leg back. Inhale, bring that knee up. Kick the foot out. Inhale, up. Send that leg back. Now change it. Inhale, up. Open the knee out to the left. And now kick it back. So it's like a half moon, a baby half moon. You're just tilting. It'll be the hardest one to balance on yet. Inhale, bring that knee up and out to the side again. And now cross the knees. Cross the knees, not the ankle, cross the knees. Yeah, and sit down, eagle legs. Inhale, rise up, hold if you can, or use the wall, no problem. Hold the knee with the opposite hand and give yourself a gentle twist, opening your spine as you do it, opening your chest as you do it. Come back to neutral, reach up with your arms and step your foot to the earth. Long, spacious spine, mountain pose. Good work. Bring the arms down, relax. Just enjoy your mountain pose. Look down at your foot, see if your toes moved. I almost have space between all my toes. Some of that space has gone away, especially near the pinky side. Okay, we're gonna flip over and we're gonna do the other side. So the left side of your body will be near the wall if you're gonna use the wall. Then we'll look down and we're gonna lift our toes up again. We're gonna spread our big toe and our pinky toe as far away from each other as we can to put space between all our toes. You can also really interestingly feel where your body weight goes as it tries to do that. Does it go to the ball of the foot or the pinky, the big, let me be more clear with my speech. Does the weight go to the big toe ball of the foot or does the weight go to the pinky toe ball of the foot as you try to spread the toes? Replant the feet, keeping that space if you can. And let's inhale, bring up our right. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, bring up the right. Exhale, back. Inhale, bring up the right. Open it out to the side. Inhale, extend the leg out. Little half moon, floating half moon. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, cross the knees. Bring up the knee, hold it in the opposite hand. Twist your spine and try to stay upright and full. Inhale, come back, send your arms up. Come back to mountain pose, get long in your body. Breathe full, looks good. Love the spaciousness. And relax, look down at that foot, see how you did. Gosh, my toes are turning blue. I was gripping the floor so hard with my toes. Excellent work, excellent work. We're gonna lift up through the center of our chest here like we're a superhero, rising up. You can rest the palms gently on the front of the thigh. Maybe gaze up slightly and breathe, bringing that space into your spine, rising through the ribs and the chest. Good. Feel these muscles in your mid and low back converging inward, helping to support that lifting up. It should be easy to make this opening of your back bend, opening of spaciousness. No effort required. Just the muscles doing what they can do. Good. Coming back to an upright feeling. Maybe internally there's a lot of space, but externally our shoulders and our posture kind of looks more like we could walk around. Yet internally we feel more upright. Good. Bend the knees nice and deep. And you're going to step into a nice wide open stance so the feet are pointing to the long edge of your mat instead of the short. Allow the toes or heels to turn out so your hips feel like they have some stability and strength. Recreate that inner posture that we've been working on. And nice and slow, bend your right knee and we're going to drop down as low as your body feels like it can drop. Keep the weight in the feet for now. And then we're gonna come back up. You can lift the heels. I'm keeping my heels down because it helps me stay more balanced over my knees. And then bend your left knee as deeply as you can. Let's keep our hands on our body so that we're not keeping the weight in our feet. Just seeing how load bearing the legs can be. Really good. Inhale, back up. Let's go to the other side one more time. Chest is open. The back is strong. We're not rounding our back. Back is strong. Bend. We'll call this like slalom skiing or something. I don't know. Inhale, back up. Pushing with that bent leg. One more time. First or second side. Good. Push with that leg. Okay, this time we're going to use our hands for a little bit of body weight. You're going to drop low. You're going to let your fingertips come down under your shoulders. They can easily come to blocks too if you prefer. You can lift your back heel and lift your straight leg toes. Breathe. Good. Plant your feet. Come all the way back up with the weight in your feet. And then drop to the second side. Drop the hands down. You lift the back heel, lift the front toes. And we're going to walk our hands to the front edge of our mat and drop our back knee down. So if you look here, we've got a nice wide pose called locust pose, or moving towards it, or crocodile or something. They keep renaming these things. So my foot, walk your left foot to the left edge of your mat. So you've got a nice wide lunge here. Take your left arm to the inside of the left knee. Yeah, good. And this can be your pose. This is going to be probably my pose today. If you'd like to, though, you can start to bend your elbows, one and then the other, and see how low you can get. I've got plenty of hip action happening right where we are. Now I'm going to keep my low back strong. I'll keep my chest open. If we start to round our back and lengthen the back muscles, you can do it. It's definitely a way to do the pose, but it's a little different than the scope of today's class. So just explore what feels right for your body today. Always sort of prioritize what feels right to you. I'm kind of enjoying this bolstered inner posture, so I'm going to add it to this pose today. So we're going to step back to a nice wide-legged downward facing dog to transition. Now you can root your heels here with a little bit wider stance. So keeping that low back kind of just melty rather than rounded. Couple more breaths, just countering, really neutralizing the spine here. When you're ready, you're going to go to the second side. So you're going to step wide along the edge of the mat with the right foot. Drop the left knee down, nice and long, wide stance. You get to choose how low you want to take this pose today. I welcome the idea of keeping the back engaged, though, even as we try to open up the hip. Breathe. Breathe. In the breathing today, we want to think about that. When we inhale, the chest opens from the center to the arm, almost like it's inhaling outward from the collarbones. The pectoral muscles, they get really tight. They can be locked short, especially with a lot of texting and driving and typing. Just like the back muscles can get locked long. And so we're trying to breathe and broaden across the pec muscles. We're going to step back to a downward dog again if you'd like, or a tabletop, or a child's pose, whatever kind of feels right now. Long, deep breath, whatever pose you're in. let's slowly come up and bring our knees much closer together. You can even have the feet closer together. Now, for me, it's not available to just sit on my heels. Some of you will just sit on your heels. What you can do is you can actually put a prop, like a blanket or a pillow, under the knee, or really in the pocket of your knee. And that'll help you sit a little higher up and still have. Now, normally we separate our feet and sit between it. Today, we're going to keep our feet close together and maybe sit on the heels or on a cushion under our thighs. Okay? Just take a moment just to be here in this pose. Take a moment to lengthen the spine into a restful but alert posture. Let's enter a breathing exercise. We will practice Ujjayi Pranayama. Ujjayi is like when you fog a mirror. You tighten the glottis of the throat, but you do it through the nose. You can just do it through the exhale, and you make the sound of like the ocean, or they call it Darth Vader breathing. You can also do it on the inhale as well. But dare to concentrate on the sound itself. And try to empty your lungs, really letting all the air slowly exhale. Or have an extended exhale, fully emptying the breath on the exhale. While listening to the Ujjayi sound. If you're having trouble focusing, you find yourself wandering off, losing attention, just try to do it once, one full breath cycle. And if you can do one full breath cycle, then start over and try to do 3 full breath cycles. And if you can't, you just start over and say, okay, I'm really going to focus on extending and emptying my exhale and listening to the Ujjayi. And that's all that there will be. You just see, can I do 1 full breath cycle? Can I do 3? Maybe some of you can get up to 5 without any other intrusion. I teach advanced yoga teachers going for their higher certifications. We teach just 1 breath. Can you just 1 breath? So it is not a sign that you cannot stay focused for 1 breath. Just see your ability to focus on a body sensation like breathing. When you are ready, please slowly rock forward. Push your left knee forward and take your right knee behind it. And then split the feet in an A or a V shape. Crisscross them. And now you're going to sit back either on a prop or on the floor between the legs. And your knees will remain sort of stacked in this V diagonal experience. That's good. So not pigeon pose, It's Gomukhasana cat feet. Yeah, bring the back knee all the way in. There you go, and then sit back between the legs. You got it. Yep. Good, so you can look up here, you can see my opposite foot is on the sides of my body, right? Opposite feet, and my knees are stacked. And now what we can do is we're just going to let our head become very heavy, let our shoulders become very heavy, and don't worry about the low back staying in. You can just relax it now and just let it be natural. Don't force it back, just let it be natural. And hang here for a few breaths. If you want some props out in front of you to rest your hands on, you can. Just hang here for a few breaths. Trying to release excess tension, right? We want the back muscles to be in their natural strength. You don't want to cling to them in their toned position. So now we're releasing some of the excess squeezing of the back body. Letting those shoulder blades fall apart, letting the back body expand a little bit. Inhale, rise up and just switch which leg is in front or which leg is on top. It should be easy to sort of stay upright still, but just let yourself release the head, the shoulders, a little bit of opening in the back body now without pushing into the back body. Good. Let's come forward and out of this pose. You can sit all the way back and extend your legs out in front of you. Any width that feels appropriate. Just sort of relax again here for just a few deep breaths. Just hang like a rag doll that has no puppeteer. From that position, you're going to bend your knees and slowly lower down, pressing your spine into the earth. Press your shoulders and elbows into the earth. We'll lift your hips up into that starting bridge pose like we did earlier, keeping the shoulders and elbows pressing into the earth. Like do the slingshot hips again. Stretch the hips up to the sky. Deep breath. And then lower, pressing the spine back into the floor. Put out the right leg on the mat and take the left knee across the body for a twist, supine twist. Roll it back to center. Put up the left leg. Let's take the right knee up and over into a twist. Come back to center. Now let's stretch our limbs out long and spacious on our mat. Reach your fingers down towards the feet or towards the corners of the far corners of your mat. So it pulls the shoulder blades down away from your ears. And then rest your arms. Reach energy out through the heel and then out through the ball of the foot to release the hip and knee and ankle. Try to let your head be like a bowling ball, almost like an anchor. Keep your head really heavy like an anchor and do it again. Reach your hand straight away from you so it hovers the arms. It might hover the low back. You pull the shoulders down away from the head. And then do the same thing with the legs. Reach the heels. Reach the ball of the foot. You're just lengthening like your tree roots, latticing their way from the bulb. Your skull would be the bulb. And the roots are sort of growing away from it. And then rest your body. Stretch your body. And press up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Thanks so much for practicing, y'all. Namaste. Hey, I'm definitely open to the feedback too on the volume. If I could even talk softer, or if it was I should be talking the way I was talking, anything